Pandemic billionaires. Who is profiting from this and why? A lot of people have suffered financially due to COVID-19. They've lost their jobs and lived from hand to mouth. On the other hand, some people have made billions of dollars in the same period. For example, Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, whose wealth increased by $75 billion US. Yes, that's right, $75 billion. So who else has been benefiting financially from this epidemic? You gotta watch this video till the end to find out who's getting richer. In this video, we'll be sharing new and exciting information about who profited the most during the COVID-19 pandemic. If you're interested in more videos like this, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. You might think the sentiment "we're all in this together" is true, but nothing could be further from the truth. Some people have suffered from unemployment, hunger, and high infection rates because they're at the front line of the fight against this epidemic, whilst others have been accumulating billions. In the United States, the richest country in the world, more than 30. The study also pointed out that the combined wealth of Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett is the equivalent to the poorest half of the entire US population, which is about 164 million people. That's right, the combined income of 164 million people is the equivalent to the wealth of just 3 American billionaires. Of course, that is not to say that all billionaires have increased their profits. The US Forbes magazine also lamented the impact of the virus on the super rich. The richest people in the world are not immune to the destructive effects of the coronavirus. There's actually been a decline in the number of billionaires in 2020, reflecting the economic impact of this epidemic. According to Forbes magazine, 267 people dropped off the billionaire list because their wealth fell under the $1 billion benchmark. But I'm sure they aren't crying into their cornflakes just yet. As the epidemic continues, these numbers are likely to increase, but the wealth of at least 8 people has been increased exponentially, and we're going to tell you who they were. First up is a man close to my heart. He has me primed for my next delivery. Yes, it's the billionaire Jeff Bezos. He's the owner of Amazon. Since the outbreak of the coronavirus in the United States on February 21, Jeff's wealth has increased by $75 billion since the pandemic started. His net worth is the equivalent to the Honduras GDP. At the end of 2020, Jeff Bezos had a total net worth of $189 billion. Can you believe the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 has helped him get even richer? We all know what it's like to have an Amazon delivery, and that's how and why Amazon has been able to capitalize on the frustrations of those who want next-day delivery. Amazon Prime for the win. Did you know that Amazon Prime has over 150 million subscribers worldwide? Do the math on that revenue stream and you will cry. Next up is Elon Musk. He is CEO of Tesla and owner of SpaceX. Elon made a mistake when he said that the coronavirus pandemic was stupid. He later saw the opportunity presented by the pandemic and realized that he could profit from it. You might be thinking, how? Well, he changed the production of Tesla and is now producing ventilators. His wealth increased by more than $5 billion in less than a month. His estimated net worth in October 2020 was $92.8 billion. Elon Musk also caused a Bitcoin frenzy in February when he purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and tweeted about it. And he's just announced that you'll be able to buy a Tesla using Bitcoin. Next is Mackenzie Bezos. She is Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Mackenzie divorced Jeff just last year and she owns a 4% stake in Amazon. This was no ordinary divorce, as that 4% is worth around $36 billion. Mackenzie is a writer and philanthropist, and she's also the 3rd richest woman in the world. Since the divorce, she has initiated donations for the poor, of which $3.5 billion was raised during the pandemic, and currently she has total assets of approximately $54 billion. But unfortunately, guys, she's already taken. She's found love again and has married Seattle science teacher Dan Jewett. Lucky guy. Next is Eric Yuan. Eric Yuan is the owner of Zoom. He has made $2.58 billion. But guess how he made it? Put it this way, He wasn't on mute. He's one of the people who has benefited the most from the social distancing measures enforced by many countries around the world during the epidemic because millions of people around the world have needed to communicate through video conferencing software. His estimated net worth in October 2020 was a whopping $22.3 billion. Next is Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer, former Microsoft CEO and owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, holds a large portion of Microsoft shares. Microsoft also owns two other video conferencing platforms that are increasingly used worldwide, Skype and Teams. During the coronavirus crisis, he made $2.2 billion. Ballmer is also very generous. He plans to donate around $25 million US. Just in case you're wondering how much that kind of money is to him, it's equivalent to only 0.04% of his wealth. Not bad for some, right? His estimated net worth in October 2020 was $75 billion. Next up on the list is John Albert Sobrado. This gentleman is a real estate developer in Silicon Valley. His company owns the headquarters of Google, Facebook, Netflix, and Apple. Not a bad portfolio. We bet he's got his out of office on and is at the beach because he has made $2.07 billion during the epidemic alone. Lastly on the list is Comiso. Who or what is Comiso? It is an Italian businessman who owns Mediacom, which happens to be the fifth largest cable company in the United States. He also owns two football teams, New York Cosmos and the famous Italian Fiorentina. Obviously, he made some smart financial decisions during the pandemic because it made him a whopping $1.09 billion. So to wrap it up, after hearing about all these people's financial gains, if you were them, what would you spend this kind of money on? Comment in the chat below and let us know. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell icon so you never miss any videos.